certainly hope you can make a quick change there to get in with the next net controller. With that, folks, we're down to the final minute. I will say it's been an honor serving as net control for the N2G net this evening. Truly appreciate the stories and comments shared. Thank you to everyone that's contributed in any and every way to restoring the sense of normal to our beautiful area, lending a helping hand to others in need, no matter if that was in person or by distance. Until next time, hope that all of you out there stay safe, keep a positive attitude, remain WNC in the East Tennessee strong. 7-3 from Whiskey 4 Echo Victor. Scott in Bessemer City, it's been an honor. Back to you, Vicki.
83, I hear. W4EV, thank you for that, buddy. My treat on the next time we go to lunch, though, buddy. Thank you so much, Scott. Good job. Your next controller is going to be Nate, and this gentleman has worked so hard over this past year, immediately after this hurricane. And when Nate takes over W4NDK, 9 drunken kangaroos, Nate will kick this thing off in a moment. And we have on Echo Link standing by an individual that would like to check in, so I'll leave that up to Nate. But Nate, this just incredible individual as your next net controller. In W4NDK, it's all yours, buddy. 83, I listen.
Thank you, 83i. This is W4NDK. I'm also transmitting this net on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. And so everybody go and look up the 1-year anniversary of Hurricane Helene net November 2 Golf on YouTube, and you'll see the live stream. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. This net is about the guys that did most of the work, or all the work. So I'll turn it over to the gentleman who is standing by on Echolink for the first check-in. If there's an Echolink station, go ahead. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo net control for the next hour on the November 2 Golf net. Over.
Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo, you have to check it.
Yes, go ahead.
This is Whiskey 3 Delta Papa Tango, Dan, currently in the Grand Canyon.
Dan and the Grand Canyon, Whiskey 3 Delta Papa Tango. Nice to hear you, Dan. You're from Texas, but you're checking in on Echolink. Nice to hear you there, Dan. Go ahead and let us know your experience with Hurricane Helene and what you're thinking. Back to you.
So it's hard to believe it's been a year, and when I heard about Helene, I was actually up in New York, staying with my father in upstate New York, and it was an emergency that you guys down there know very, very well how devastating it was. But outside of the area, it was just not a big news story. There was not much information about it. And I learned about it by listening to the K2DMG and the work that he was doing after the storm, and as the soul means of communications, and incredible what the right people in the right place using the technology that was available to them. With Randy's repeater was just an absolute godsend. So thank you, Randy, for everything that you did supporting that repeater and keeping it running. And I got involved. I was just a listener. I was listening along on Broadcastify to the downright heroic work that was being coordinated by K2DMG. And when he had to leave to take care of family out of state, turned syncs over to Vicky 83I, and I again listened along to hear what was going on. And I'm going to take a break here for just a moment, and I'll be right back. I just don't want the echo link to drop me. So listened along with the work that Vicky was doing there as net control, and the updates that Helene at KJ4 GPT was making. I was just looking at my calendar, and I had as events on my calendar 3 times a day. I was listening in and felt drawn, like many people were. Eventually, people from all 50 states were drawn into the Avery County Airport to help out folks. But the person that was responsible for, or the 3 people responsible for me bringing my feet down to Western North Carolina were Dan KGDMG, Vicky 83I, and Michael KJ4 GPT that we all knew as Cahoon at the time. And it's just amazing the way folks were able to use that repeater, and then being able to get beyond the RF range and have that link out on the internet to broadcastify, so people all over, my little ears start in New York, and then my home UTH in Virginia, listening in over the internet, and that drew me in. And then we continue to use that repeater and the extension of it through Broadcastify, being able to let folks know as specifically as we could what was needed. And it was just such an amazing blessing to be able to announce something in the evening, and by the next day be able to say, hey, it's another prayer answered, that the thing that was the most pressing need. Timeout.
Hey there, Dan. You timed out. Try again.
Connected KQ4WYO. Connected W4WXL. Connected KF8CHS.
He's coming back in. Hang on, Nate. 83I.
All right, he'll come back in through Echo Link. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. We'll pause for a second as net control to let Whiskey 3 Delta Papa Tango rejoin us. He's Dan, currently at the Grand Canyon.
Connected W3DPT.
Now on key a little more often. Amazing to see. Hand of God at work. We announce a need, and by the next day it's fulfilled. And one of the things that I was blessed by was the opportunity to see every single sunrise and sunset over the mountains from the Avery County Airport for the better part of October and November. That sunrise was the first signal of the day that God was in control of what was happening there at the airport. And then throughout the day, the people that we were able to help out, and seeing people that when I first got there, most of the people that were coming through the line were coming for the very first time. They were coming from the hills. They heard that we were there, and they trusted us to come and let us give them some supplies. I'm going to take a break. was just an absolute blessing to be able to help as a ham radio operator, as somebody that could just as importantly be able to speak directly with the people that heard about what the needs were that came from all over the country to bring supplies to us, or to come and volunteer, and to be able to meet those folks, and to be able to spend time with the good folks that we were all brought there to serve. It was just such a blessing to be a part of the community that went to Western North Carolina to serve, that were drawn there by ham radio. And I know that using Echo Link is a challenge, so let me just stop there, turn it back to net, and I'll be standing by for a bit. W3GPT, now down there is Dolphin.
Yes, Dolphin. It's good to hear your first viewpoint impression of what it was like being there at the Avery County Airport. We appreciate you volunteering and doing all that work there. And while you were talking, Steve KO4GSM said in the chat, good to hear Dolphin. So I heard your nickname before, and I heard it from Steve before you mentioned that was your nickname up there at Avery County Airport. Really appreciate it. David's also out there, Whiskey Echo 4 Juliet Charlie, in the chat on the live stream on YouTube. And we got Russell from the Shelby area. Kilo Echo 4 Golf Tango Quebec. Russell's always there on the QRP net, which is at 7 tonight. So good to hear him. He's actually from Patterson Springs. Patterson Springs. I think I said Shelby. I'm sorry about that, Russell. But yeah, if you want to make some closing remarks there, Dan, since you let Echo Link drop, it can restart. And we really appreciate what you did for us up there. And us meaning I'm a citizen of North Carolina, and I felt like this hit home for me, this hurricane. My family is from Hendersonville and Tryon, the mountains. It was all hit hard up there, and that's not very far from Chimney Rock. It hit Lake Summit, just outside of Flat Rock, North Carolina. Damaged the dam. The dam is still not operable up there at Lake Summit, the Green River, and it was a soulful blow. But God showed His mercy and showed what power of spirit can do when everyone gets together and helps out. So anyway, I'll turn it back over to you for a final, if you're still there. Whiskey 3 Delta Papa Tango. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo, net control.
Contact.
Contact, go ahead.
Thank you. Dan, this is Dan as well, K2DMG. Thank you for the kind words at the beginning of your transmission there, and nice to hear you on the radio again. K2DMG, back to you, Dan.
Hey, thank you, Dan. There's nobody like you that I have ever heard on the radio before. Thanks for all that you did. There are people that are alive on the planet because you were behind the mic at the right time that morning. So thank you for that, Dan. W3GPT.
Well, likewise for you and your people up at Avery County and all the months that you spent up there with supplies and food and chainsaws and everything else. So no thanks needed on my end. You guys did all the heavy lifting. K2DMG, back to net control.
Well, that's the famous Kilo 2 Delta Mike Goff. That's Dan. And he ran the emergency response team that was on the radio dispatching and manning the microphone for hours and days upon end with Vicky. Dan, do you mind saying a few words about your experience? It's a pleasure to have you here. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Back to Kilo 2 Delta Mike Golf.
And worked in Katrina. This was an order of magnitude worse than that, in my opinion, and everybody that I've talked to that worked in both places. But it's also a place where I spent longer on the ground than I did as a Coast Guard person responding to short disasters. And it was a time where we saw person to person the power of God working from individual people to individual people to provide the help that they needed, whether that help was food, was fuel oil, somebody to pray with. It was a time that we saw the hand of God at work, and it was a blessing for all of us that we're able to be a part of that. So thank you for that. Thank you, Vicki, for prompting me. And this is W3DPT. Back to net.
Comment?
Go ahead, comment, and then after the comment, we'll let Dan say a few words. That's the Dan from the Statesville area, or Mooresville, Kilo 2, Delta Mike Golf. But go ahead, comment.
Net Control, can you please check in Kilo Foxtrot 8, Charlie Hotel Sierra? This is Rob in Michigan. Wanted to say hello to Dan Dolphin. This is the air boss from Avery County Airport. Good to hear your voice, Dan. Miss you, buddy. Back to net. Net Control. N2G. My work buddies up there are all in here at one time. It's good to hear their voices. And again, I have to thank them that I'm still here. N4GAC.
N4GAC station recognized. And I'll turn it back over to Kilo Foxtrot 8, Charlie Hotel Sierra. Rob, since you're working up there, let us know a little bit about your experience there. And also Kilo 2 Delta Mike Golf. Either one of you guys, take it over.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Charlie Hotel Sierra. I spent a lot of time on Saturday with Steve talking about my experience up there. I just wanted to jump in real quick to say hi to Dan. I was not expecting to hear him on the radio this evening, so pleasantly pleased to hear his voice. We spent quite a time together up there, and he put the nail on the head. It helped a lot of people. Maybe as the net dies down a little bit, I can chime in later, but just really wanted to say hi to Dan Dolphin, and good to hear Ron always. Back to net.
Okay, this is Net Control Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. I just wanted to say a couple of words for Janet Meadows, who lives up there. Her basement was completely washed out and flooded, and she's getting hip surgery. And she had Habitat for Humanity of Asheville come in and renovate her basement and get it going so she could move down into the basement during hip surgery and get in and out of the house while she's recuperating. So I want to thank Habitat for doing that. Operation Halo, H-E-L-O, coptering in folks to the Chimney Rock area that needed help. Mayor Peter O'Leary from Bubba O'Leary's General Store in Chimney Rock, all that he went through renovating his entire store and helping hold that town together. Rich Duncan from the Independence Fund on 7th Street here in Charlotte. He helped our church, St. Martin's Episcopal, and Father Josh Bowron get truckloads of supplies up to the mountains for us because he was already hauling on the in the Independence Fund 18-wheelers stuff up there to their site. They provide wheelchairs for wounded warriors, veterans. So that's the Independence Fund, Rich Duncan. They're based here in Charlotte, North Carolina on 7th Street off Louise Avenue if you're interested. And I also want to put a shout out to Adam Zart, who came over to my house last night. We went out to the man cave, the shed, and used crossband repeat and got him on with Steve, KO4GSM, who did a ton of work dispatching and coordinating with Vicky and with Dan. Okay, well at this point, I'll turn it back over to check-ins. If there's anybody else that wants to check in to the November 2 Golf N2G 1-year Hurricane Helene anniversary net, please go ahead and check in.
November 4, Echo Delta X-ray, Ed in Swananoa.
Ed in Swananoa, is that November 4 Echo Delta X-ray?
Yeah, that's a Roger. Just wanted to stick my head in. Name is Ed, and you're running a great net. Sounding really good, and it's good to hear everyone. I've been listening. I'm working in another room, so still getting my house set up down here. I relocated after the flood. Anyway, 7-3's November 4, Echo Delta X-ray. Cheers.
Thank you, Ed. You're up there near Thomas in Swananoa area, November 4, Echo Delta X-ray. Nice to hear you on the net. You got a great signal. Any other check-ins for the N2G net? Please call Net Control now.
Net Control, please check in KM4 OSW George, Maggie Valley, Mobile. Please check me in and out. Thank you.
Let me confirm that call sign. Is that Kilo Mike 4 Oscar Sierra Whiskey?
Yes, that is correct. I'm probably coming in a little weak. I'm in the mobile right now.
Well, there's a little bit of hash with you, but you're doing fine. Kilo Mike 4 Oscar Sierra Whiskey. Good to hear you there, George, up in Waynesville area. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you for calling at KM4 OSW.
Okay, we had a double too. The next station that was trying to check in, go ahead.
Yeah, Nate, this is Kilo Juliet 4, Papa Foxtrot. Your friend Kurt over here in Marion. I just wanted to check in with you. KJ4 PPF.
That's KJ4 PPF. That's my buddy Kurt. He's one of the regulars on this Mount Mitchell repeater. We've been around for days and years on this repeater, and he was in the heart of this storm up there in Marion. He was on the repeater with me those first couple of days, and I remember asking him a few things about what was going on, and I could hear in his voice, and rightfully so, the effects of Hurricane Helene. Kurt, would you like to say a few words, or you're usually a man of few words, but I'd love to hear from you. Over.
Oh, well, finally did get the roofers up here to put the new roof on after about 9 months, but yeah, they got it done less than a day once they got started on it, and that was good because it had begun to leak again when it rained real hard, and I didn't want to put up with that.
Roger that. That's good to hear that you got the roof finally done. Everything else in order with your house up there in the mountains.
Oh yeah, they got the road in good shape, power lines, and only thing the phone service is not any good. Phone and internet. I don't know what's happened there, but I did buy a Starlink system, and I can use it now, and everything's good.
All right, well, there's my friend Kurt. I really appreciate you finding me here and checking in. You're probably listening to this repeater more often than I am, and I appreciate you being there as a regular. KJ4 PPF, Kilo Juliet 4, Papa Foxtrot. 73, my friend, from Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo.
73, take care. Thank you.
KJ for the
There's the MC of this repeater. KJ4ZEO. That's William in Flat Rock, North Carolina. William, go ahead.
Just come out here, intentionally held carbon monoxide. Heard you calling. Glad I made it.
I'll stay away from those running generator fumes if you can. I know that everyone was inhaling carbon monoxide during the relief efforts, and they were toughing it out. I mean, I wasn't on there like Dan and Steve, the amount of hours they were on there, and Vicky, and all the guys up there in Avery County Airport and Camp Miller. But just the few hours that I was on the radio, that stress level is something I hadn't felt before. When someone from Florida would get in touch with me on 40 meters and ask me to find their family and see if they're okay and do a welfare check, and then I would get on the radio and have someone on the ground try to find them. Every second that was going by, the stress level was going up and up, looking for those folks. And then my buddy from Charlotte that I know through one of the local churches, his parents live in that area in Burnsville, and he had to personally go up there himself and find them at their house because he couldn't get in touch with them. But a lot of the welfare checks were done through the repeater, and they did a great job. It was just hard to get to everybody. Thanks for being there, KJ4ZEO, and sorry that I jumped up on my soapbox there. Over.
Good day, you're doing just fine. Anyway, we'll be listening. KJ4ZEO, good evening.
Okay, that's KJ4ZEO. That's William in Flat Rock near Hendersonville. He was without power for quite a few days and had massive trees in his driveway. The amount of chainsawing that he had to do just to get his car in and out. Incredible. I wanted to say hello to Cape Cod, W1ECB Hollywood. He's up there on the live stream. Of course, Steve is there. We got Gabe there. He's a new subscriber. And Russell out there. Also, David. He's on Echo Link. Whiskey Echo 4 Juliet Charlie. Okay, anybody else to check in on the net, either Echo Link or RF? Go ahead and check in. This is Net Control. Call Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo.
Net Control. Net Control, please check in Whiskey 8 Bravo Romeo Delta. Whiskey 8 Bravo Romeo Delta. Bill over here in Newmarket, Tennessee. Doing a good job, sir. Pleasure to talk with you.
Wow.
Please check in, Kilo Quebec 4, Zulu Golf Kilo, Robbie in Lenore. Net Control, please check in November 4, Charlie Romeo Victor, N4 CRV, Lee in Greenville, South Carolina.
That last station that tried to check in, all I heard was static. So you might want to get to higher ground, maybe up your power, up your antenna, and give it another try a little bit later. But anyway, we had 3 good check-ins there. We had Whiskey 8 Bravo Romeo Delta. That's Bill. He is in, let me pull him back up here. Bill in Newmarket, Tennessee, coming in all the way from Tennessee. That shows you the reach of this repeater is amazing. So good to hear you in Tennessee. You're almost 300 miles away from me here in Charlotte. Thank you for checking in, Bill. And then we had Kilo Quebec 4 Zulu Golf Kilo. That's Robbie. And Robbie's in Lenore, North Carolina. Nice to hear you, Robbie. And he's living right there, almost in ground zero of this hurricane. I'm sure he was affected heavily by it. And November 4, Charlie Romeo Victor. That is Lee in Simpsonville, South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina area. Yeah, this repeater really gets out, Lee. Good to hear you there. November 4, Charlie Romeo Victor. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo Net Control. Any other check-ins for the N2G net on the Mount Mitchell repeater, the N2GE repeater? Over.
Net Control. Please copy November 4 Alpha Zulu Oscar, Roger, at Hilton's, Virginia.
Net control. Please copy.
Okay, that last station came in with a bunch of static again. When you first said net control, it was clear, and then I lost the rest of it. So either hold your antenna straight up, get up to a hill or something, or try again later, but I didn't copy any of that. November 4, Alpha Zulu Oscar. That's Roger. Roger, and he's out of state also. He's in Hilton's, Virginia. He's in Virginia. Good to hear there, Roger.
Yeah, good to hear you guys too, and you're doing a good thing. I appreciate y'all guys calling the net, and that's about all I got tonight. I'll be sitting here listening. Y'all have a great evening. N4AZO.
N4AZO. Roger, Roger. And $1.4 billion of community development block grant disaster recovery money is coming in from the state of North Carolina for this. So they're trying to get around to the roads. I think they've only gotten about 25% of the, or 50% of the roads that were damaged fixed. There are some nonprofits that did a lot of work other than Habitat. You had CHC. You had the Asheville Buncombe Community Land Trust. You had the Mountain Housing Opportunity, the Community Action Opportunities, and Community Ownership Poder Emma is also a nonprofit, and PRC. So those are all part of the ARCHR in the state of North Carolina, trying to take care of this. I know it's been slow going, but they're getting things done. Something like 20 houses a month, I think, is what Habitat can get to at the most. And there are over 900 still on the list, I believe. Okay, any other check-ins for the N2G net? This is Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo, net control. Please call net control now.
Net control. Hey, good evening, Nate. Kilo, please check me in. Kilo Oscar 4, Golf, Sierra Mike. I'll stand by. I've got a few minutes here. I just wanted to thank you for what you did last night, brother. Back to net.
Oh, no problem there, Steve. Good to hear you, Steve. Thanks for checking in. That's Kilo Oscar 4, Golf Sierra Mike. He's assistant net controller on the QRP SSB net. That's at 7, so I'm sure he's getting ready for that. And it was a pleasure for me to host Adam's Art. What a nice guy, very humble, from Camp Miller here when he was on there last night at 8 p.m. Any other check-ins for the N2G net, please call Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo or net control. That's Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Whiskey Yankee. Is that a QSL?
I'm Larry from Porterville. Yeah, Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Whiskey Yankee.
Nice to meet you, Larry. Thanks for coming in from Simpsonville, Greenville, South Carolina area. This is Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo. I'll be clear with Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Whiskey Yankee. Any other check-ins, please call Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo or net control now. Okay, that last station, there was a lot of noise with you. Please try it slowly and phonetically, and I'll get you checked in.
Net control. Please check in November 2, Sierra Whiskey Juliet.
Okay, fine station there, November 2, Sierra Whiskey Juliet. That's Scott in Greer, South Carolina. Nice to have you on the net. Thanks for checking in. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Net control on the Mount Mitchell repeater. November 2 Golf Echo for the November 2 Golf net. That was set up by wonderful Miss Vicky. Any other check-ins for the November 2 Golf net? This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Go ahead.
Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo. Nate, good to hear you there, buddy. KO4 FIA, Gary in Burnsville. I'll just be on the side.
Oh, that's my other buddy, Gary, KO4 FIA. He's in Burnsville. He sometimes helps organize the Mount Mitchell repeater get-together, so if you're on this repeater and you want to be part of the next get-together, let Gary know, let Kurt know, let William, and I'm sure that somebody can help you get an invite to the next one. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo, clear with Kilo Oscar 4, Foxtrot, India Alpha, and any other check-ins for the November 2 Golf net.
W4 VDA.
In for, can you do it phonetically for me, please?
Whiskey 4 Victor Delta X-ray.
That's Whiskey 4 Victor Delta X-ray. That's Gabe, is that correct?
That's a big Roger. I can't believe I'm getting into the machine. I'm over here in Albemarle, North Carolina, from the home 20 here, and threw an antenna up in the tree, and I figured I'd give it a shot. Thanks for having me on the net. W4 VDA.
Yeah, good to hear you. Whiskey 4 Victor Delta X-ray. I'm in the Charlotte area, you're in Albemarle, so we're both east of the repeater, going all the way up to Mount Mitchell and bouncing right back to us. So you're doing really well to get in there. Yeah, you're only about, 45 miles from me as the crow flies. Whiskey 4 Victor Delta X-ray. Nice to hear you, Gabe. Thanks for checking in.
Net control. 336, thank you, sir, and good evening, everybody on the net. W4 VDA. Net control. Net control, please copy Whiskey 4 Juliet Whiskey Delta. Johnson in Shelby.
Whiskey 4 Juliet Whiskey Delta station recognized. Nice check-in from the Shelby area, home of the Shelby Ham Fest. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Thank you for checking in, Jonathan. Nice to hear you here. Any other check-ins for the November 2 Golf net? Please go ahead.
Net control, checking Kilo Oscar 4, Uniform X-ray Papa, Torrey Mobile in Asheville.
Kilo Oscar 4, Uniform X-ray Papa, Tori, and Asheville Mobile. Good to hear you there, Tori. Thanks for checking in. So I have him in the log. That's Kilo Oscar 4, Uniform X-ray Papa. I also have Whiskey 4, Juliet Whiskey Delta, and Whiskey 4, Victor Delta X-ray, all in the log. Any other check-ins for the November 2 Golf net? And also in the chat, we got Larry there. He said, glad that we're operating here, and glad that we're helping the community. And Steve, thank you for the kind words there. And also Lee. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Turn it over to you guys. Any other check-ins for the November 2 Golf net? Please call Net Control or Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo now.
Net control, please copy November 4, Tango Uniform X-ray. Net control, please copy N4 TUX, Kingsport, Tennessee. First name Boyd, checking in, please.
That's a fine station from Kingsport, Tennessee, up in the Tri-Cities area, November 4. Tango Uniform X-Ray. That's Boyd in Kingsport, Tennessee. Good to hear you from the volunteer state. Thanks for checking in. Negative copy on that last one. You'll have to up your power. I didn't hear you there. Any other check-ins for the November 2 Golf Net? This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Go ahead. Kilo Quebec 4. Is that Kilo Quebec 4 Charlie Kilo Kilo QSL?
Roger, roger. Rich in Rogersville, Tennessee.
Good to hear you. Kilo Quebec 4 or Charlie Kilo Kilo. The band conditions are good tonight. Rich in Rogersville, Tennessee. Nice to hear you. Thanks for checking in with us. Any other check-ins for the November 2 Golf Net? This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo W4NDK for the 1-year anniversary of Hurricane Helene. Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo, the November 2 Golf Net. November 2 Golf. Please check in now. Oh, and it's nice to see some folks from further distance away on the live stream watching us. Is Larry, Kilo Charlie 8 Zulu Romeo Echo. That's Kilo Charlie 8 Zulu Romeo Echo. He is checking in by proxy if you can, but he's sending a message on the live stream, the 1-year anniversary of Hurricane Helene Net November 2 Golf live stream on YouTube. Any other check-ins on RF or Echo Link for the November 2 Golf Net? Please call Net Control now.
Net Control, this is Jamie at KF8 BIT Kilo Foxtrot 8 Delta India Tango from Ohio.
That's Kilo Foxtrot 8 Delta India Tango. I like the call sign, Jamie. Nice to meet you up there in Ohio. Nice check-in on Echo Link. Thanks for finding us there for the Hurricane Helene 1-year anniversary net.
Net Control, please check in Kilo 2 Charlie Juliet Mike J in Mamou, Louisiana.
Is that Kilo 2 Charlie Juliet Mike? Is that correct?
That's affirmative, QSL.
Nice to hear you there, Mamou, Louisiana. Very good signal on Echo Link, very clear. Thanks for checking in on the November 2 Golf Echo repeater, the tallest repeater on the East Coast, and November 2 Golf Net. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Nice to meet you there. Kilo 2 Charlie Juliet Mike in Louisiana. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Putting out calls again. Any more check-ins?
November 4 Tango Lima Bravo, Les in Johnson City.
November for Tango Lima Bravo. And what was your first name again, please, sir?
It's Les, L-E-S.
Okay, Les, I like the Bucky's hat on your QRZ. Thank you for checking in to the November 2 Golf 1-year anniversary of Hurricane Helene net. Okay, there's a little noise with you. Can you do that again very slowly, and I'll get you in the log. I don't think you're quite making it. You were a little stronger at first. You must be getting further away or behind some rock or something. Kilo Tango 4 Bravo is all I got. Try one more time, and if we can't get in this time, we have to try a little bit later. Okay, all I got out of that was Kilo Bravo 4, and then you cut out. Let's try again a little bit later. Maybe wait a couple check-ins and then try again. This is Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo for the November 2 Golf Net. Please try check-in now.
Just one more, Kilo Romeo 4, Bravo Charlie Foxtrot, Siberian Spartanburg.
Okay, I think I got it this time. It came in clear. Kilo Romeo 4, Bravo Charlie Foxtrot. Is that a QSL?
That's firm. You got it. Thank you much. In and out.
Thank you, Jerry and Spartanburg, for checking in. This is Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo. We got about 14 more minutes before we turn it over to the next net controller for the Hurricane Helene 1-year anniversary net. Anybody else want to check in with net control now?
Net control. Net control, please check in Kilo Quebec 4, Uniform Charlie X-Ray. My name is Bobby. That's Bravo Oscar, Bravo Bravo Yankee in Greenville, Tennessee. In and out. Thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, I'm not doing anything. Thank you, Bobby, for checking in. That's Kilo Quebec 4, Uniform Charlie X-Ray. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo with a fine check-in from Bobby in Greenville, Tennessee. Thanks for checking in from the volunteer state.
Kilo Echo 4, Golf Tango, Quebec.
All right, that is Russell. That is Russell. He's in the Shelby area, Kilo Echo 4, Golf Tango, Quebec. Nice to hear you here, Russell. I always hear you on the Parks on the Air or the QRP net, so hopefully we'll hear you there tonight by relay. But anyway, nice to hear you there, Russell. Thanks for checking in.
The QSL there, Nate, doing a great job on the net, and it's good to hear everybody in here tonight. And we'll be participating later on next week. Send me threes, everybody. K4GTQ back to net control.
Well, I can't hold a candle to when you're running the net, so I'll have to look forward to listening to that. That's Russell, Kilo Echo 4, Golf Tango, Quebec. He's a wonderful operator of ham radio, and he's got a great son, too. I met him at the Shelby Ham Fest. This is Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo, clear with Kilo Echo 4, Golf Tango, Quebec. Russell there in the Shelby area. This is Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo, making calls for check-ins on the November 2 Golf Net. Please call now.
Net control. Net control, please check in KR4 ACD. This is Rick in Statesville.
I'm sorry, Rick. I'm so used to hearing phonetics, I almost can't copy unless there's phonetics. Could you go again?
Roger that. Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Charlie Delta KR4 ACD. Rick in Statesville.
Oh, hey, Rick. Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Charlie Delta. Nice to meet you here on the repeater. This wonderful repeater, the N2GE, and thanks for Randy for making it available to us. I'll be clear with you, Rick, in Statesville, North Carolina. Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Charlie Delta. Thanks for checking in.
few things I'd like to add, if that's okay.
Yes, please go ahead.
So, unfortunately, due to the storm that has happened, I got into GMRS and then later on into ham radio, and I've been meeting friends all over the place, which is absolutely fantastic. I've met Dan on the radio, K2DMG, and he's in Mooresville, I'm in Statesville, and he and I have become friends. And I've met Miss Vicky at the Shelby Ham Fest, and with the Caleb family and the crew that backs him up, and it's been an extremely good experience, and I just wanted to share that. KR4ACD.
KR4ACD, yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate those words, Rick. Making friends on this repeater has been something that really built up my confidence with ham radio, especially when I was a new ham back in 2020, 2019. COVID had just hit. I was stuck in the house a little bit more than I was wanting to be, and I made a lot of new friends on here. William, KJ4ZEO, a bunch of folks, Steve, a bunch of the guys on the repeater here were friends of mine, and William came down and helped hang my first two antennas, so he got me started at ham radio. Drove all the way down here from the mountains, so that's why we wanted to run up there and help out, and that's why guys like Adam Zart and Dan and the other Dan and Dolphin, they helped out at the Avery County Airport and Camp Miller. It's because of what folks in North Carolina, in the Statesville area, everybody has done for each other. It's brought everyone closer together, and that's what ham radio does. So I appreciate that. That's why I'm on here. The N2G repeater is near and dear to my heart. I just love the repeater. So thanks for that. And then Vicky and Steve, KO4GSM, and those guys, they really did a good job of utilizing the repeater, and Dan to help people. So it added value to the repeater, and it's even gotten better since then. So thank you, Rick, for being there from Statesville, Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Charlie Delta. I got about 8 more minutes. Does anybody else want to tell a story about Hurricane Helene or experience strength and hope around their relief efforts up there? Over.
Kilo, go back 4 Zulu Golf Kilo, I will.
Go ahead.
Morning of Helene, I was on my way home from work, and I was trapped outside of the road I live off of for 9.5 hours. And while I was trapped, I was bunkered down at a store, and I wound up sitting with a gentleman who was coming down the road, and a tree fell over him and his truck. 911 could not get there fast enough, and I stayed with him until he was there, but he wasn't. They just couldn't get there fast enough, and I think the good Lord put me trapped outside just to so that gentleman would have somebody with him in his last times on this earth. KQ4ZGK.
Robbie, KQ4ZGK, I appreciate you sharing that, and I feel the emotion coming from you there with that situation, and I believe God does put us together for a reason, and you gave him peace in that moment by being there, and I appreciate you doing that. And there are some other stories of people seeing bodies in trees, and just sights that you will never forget during Hurricane Helene, and I hope that we don't ever have to see anything like that in North Carolina again. So I'm praying for the families of the victims. Oh, also I wanted to mention I went to the concert for Carolina that Eric Church put on with Billy Strings and James Taylor. That raised something close to $20 million for Hurricane Helene relief, just from concert tickets alone. And David Tepper, the owner of the Panthers, donated all the money, donated his stadium. Sheryl Crow performed 2 hurricane relief efforts in North Carolina. So that was a wonderful event. That was a positive thing that came out of Hurricane Helene that we got to experience here in Charlotte. And other folks came in from way across the state to be at that. I saw a lot of first responders at that concert. They gave away a lot of free tickets. Does anybody else want to share any stories before my time is up? I'm in this for 5 more minutes. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Go ahead. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo, net control for the November 2 Golf Hurricane Helene 1-year anniversary net. Any other check-ins? Got about 4 more minutes. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo, call net control now. About Hurricane Helene, any words?
We actually live on the N2G River that passes through here just a few miles from that joins the Blue Creek Broad River. So we did experience the flood here as well as many others described. And that was kind of the pivotal moment where I got into first the GMRS, and then that led me to get into ham radio. So and even though it affected us in other ways too, it kind of caused us to get into ham radio, which that's I guess the best thing that came out of it.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, and I met you tonight. This is probably our first time talking, first time in my log here, so I appreciate that. And yeah, this repeater does bring people together, and Helene did that. A lot of bad, but a lot of good came out of it. Thank you for those words. Kilo Romeo 4 Charlie Sierra Mike, near the Nolichucky River up in East Tennessee. Thanks for checking in. Any other check-ins before my time is up? I have about 3 more minutes. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Go ahead.
Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo, please check in Whiskey 4, Sierra Bravo X-ray, W4 SBX. Name here is Brad with QTH to Simpsonville, South Carolina.
Yes, W4 Sierra Bravo X-ray. We've spoken before on 40 meters, Brad, back in February 5th. So it's good to hear you again on 2 meters, 144 repeater. 145190 repeater. Sorry, I was talking on the reverse there. But Whiskey 4 Sierra Bravo X-ray, Simpsonville, South Carolina. Brad, nice to hear you. Back to you for any final words.
No, I'm kind of late getting on here. I'll be listening throughout the night, but do you have any information on a POTA or any event for this special event, N2G? If you do, please let me know. And I appreciate you remembering me, though. That's awesome. Back to net.
Yes, that's Whiskey 4 Sierra Bravo X-ray. Yes, you can get in touch with Vicky, who will be on here in just a minute or two. And also, I can send you her email address. You can ask her, but you can operate as a POTA station with her. If you want to talk to, make sure you talk to her first, November 2 Golf, and you would send her the log. So that's something that you can do. But reach out to Miss Vicky, November 2 Golf India, I believe. Wait, no, that I don't have her call sign right now. Let me get her call sign. I'll be right back to you.
Roger that. I know Miss Vicky. I've met her. I gave some donations up here for the relief effort. Her call sign is 83. I believe they've got her phone number, so appreciate the information. Back to that.
Yes, that's Alpha Delta 3 India. Okay, guys. Well, my time is up as net control for the November 2 Golf Hurricane Helene 1-year anniversary net. I appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate all the fine stations that checked in. Your check-ins will be sent off to Miss Vicky for the master log, and we appreciate you being part of the Hurricane Helene anniversary net and part of the Mount Mitchell repeater community and the Appalachian community that was affected by Hurricane Helene. Thanks for all your relief efforts, and thank you for your shares tonight, guys. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo. Always remember this hour and the hours after when Hurricane Helene hit and I was on the repeater, and all the work that Dan and Vicky and Steve did and everybody else out there. Thanks for all your help, and thanks for all the volunteering. Thank you for letting me be net control for this past hour. I'll say 73. This is Whiskey 4 November Delta Kilo in Charlotte. I'll shut off the live stream too. 73, and I'll turn it back over if 83I is there. Sorry, I forgot your call sign. I remembered it after Bradley told me. But anyway, back over to Miss Vicky or whoever's taking over net control for the next hour. 73. Oh, and we also had KN4 PGR. That's Jordan. He was on the chat, just talking about the honor of helping with relief efforts on November 2 Golf Echo. 73, y'all.
Very good, very good. Thank you for that, Nate. Appreciate it. I knew if when I tagged you that you'd come in with the barn burner, and you sure did. This is Vicky, Alpha Delta 3 India. We had a slight shift in the schedule, so Kenny is going to bring up the tail gunner, but right now we've got Jerry. November 4, Kilo Echo Yankee, N4 KEY. Jerry hails from Mooresville, North Carolina, and I am so incredibly grateful that he stepped up. And I'm actually balancing another shift over here. I've got a 10-year-old Maggie running a net on the Tower of Power machine, so I'm going to have to QSY over there to finish up over there. So N4 KEY, if you are on frequency, take it away, Jerry. Thank you, sweetie.
All right, very good. Thank you, Miss Vicky. Thank you, everyone, for running the net and being there for the N2 Golf Hurricane Helene 1 year later net. My name is Jerry, as Vicky said, N4KY here in Mooresville, North Carolina, and I'd like to start the net with a few things there. What we've learned from the disaster, what are we doing to better prepare ourselves, and how critical role as a repeater made in changing lives and helping people during the disaster. So with that said, N4KY will say, give me a net, N2G Hurricane Helene 1 year later net. You can call N4KY or net control.
Net control. Please check in November 4, Charlie Romeo Victor, N4 CRV, Lee in Simpsonville, South Carolina.
All right, we got November 4, Charlie Romeo Victor, Lee in Simpsonville. Nice to meet you here, sir. Go ahead. Net recognizes the call. Go ahead, sir.
Well, like I was telling somebody earlier today, I'd only had my technician license about 2 months before the hurricane came through, but it definitely showed me what I wasn't ready for, what I needed to work on, and get ready in case, heaven forbid, it ever happens again. So evacuation plans, go bags, batteries, solar batteries. I think I'm more prepared now, even though nobody's really 100% prepared. But I think I'm more prepared now than I definitely was a year ago.
Yeah, QSLE. As myself, I've done a lot more preparation and because we never know when the disaster is going to hit, and I appreciate the repeaters that we have in the area and using them more often in your local area and around the region. So yes, very good, Lee. Thank you for checking in, and we'll go ahead and call net control N2G, Hurricane Helene 1 year later net. Anybody else around? Go ahead.
KF8CHS, timeout.
All right, running November 2 call, Hurricane Helene 1 year later net. Anybody want to check in? You can call N4KEY or net control. Go ahead. This is the November 2 Gulf, Hurricane Helene 1 year later net. Anybody like to check in? You can call November 4 Kilowatt Echo Yankee or net control. Go ahead.
Net control.
Go ahead for net control.
This is Kilo Quebec 4, Whiskey Sierra Foxtrot, and Marion, Adam. Thank you.
All right, I didn't copy all of that. It's a little scratchy. I think it was Kilo Quebec 4. Again, please.
Kilo Quebec 4, Whiskey Sierra Foxtrot.
All right, Kilo Quebec 4, Whiskey Sierra Foxtrot. Yeah, go ahead, sir. We got you in the log. Go ahead and you got the frequency. Go ahead.
I just want to check in and out. Tell everybody thanks for what they're doing, what they done during the hurricane, and got me motivated to get my technician's license during the hurricane.
All right, very good, Adam. I think I got it right in Marion, North Carolina. Very good, Adam. Yeah, I know a lot of people got their license during the hurricane and the GMRS and all that. So very good, Marion. Thank you for checking in and out, Adam. And we'll clear with you. And anybody else want to check in to the November 2 call, Hurricane Helene 1 year later net. Call N4KEY or net control. Go ahead.
Net control.
Go ahead for net control.
Net control, this is Kilo 3, Charlie, Hotel Sierra, K3, CHS. This is Chuck in Marion. And I'd like to say, first off, thanks for calling the net, and I appreciate everyone getting on here and recounting their stories on here. I'd like to say that, like the gentleman from Simpsonville said earlier, I was definitely found myself more prepared for situations like we had now than before. And me and my family were fortunate that we didn't have it quite as bad as others did.